With Terraria's 1.4 release, we got a bunch of new neat weapons sprinkled throughout progression. This included things like the Jousting Lance, Dribbler Crippler, and the Superstar Shooter, just to name a few. As well as these, pre-hard mode also got a bit of love too, with them adding perhaps the most overpowered ranged weapon that was not only easy to obtain, but outperformed certain hard mode weapons. Of course, I'm talking about the quad barrel shotgun. Now, unfortunately, since this update's release, the weapon has been utterly nerfed to the ground, like big time. So the question is, how does it fare in Terraria 1.4.4, and is it still worth your time? Before we do jump into today's weapon review though, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Righto, let's see how you get this thing these days. The quad barrel shotgun has not only had its functionality drastically adjusted, but its obtainability too, previously being given to the player extremely early, only requiring your arms dealer to move in to obtain. Since Terraria 1.4.1, however, it is now locked behind post-Skeletron, which, while understandable, is a damn shame considering how amazing this thing used to be against this boss. Either way, if you are familiar with the fight, you should be able to take down Skeletron even earlier than this. Once you've done this, find your arms dealer and build yourself a graveyard biome around his room. For those who don't know, the graveyard mini-biome can be created by placing 5 or more tombstones in close proximity, which, let's be honest, you should have plenty of by now. Once the music and fog kicks in, talk to your arms dealer and purchase that quad barrel shotgun for a little steep base of 35 gold. Anyway, with it in hand, let's see what it can do. The quad barrel shotgun isn't as straightforward as it sounds. You see, with so many changes made to its stats, it doesn't even really match its name or tooltip anymore, firing 8 pellets per shot now instead of the original 4. Now, you may be thinking this sounds like a massive buff, and as you can see, compared to other pre-hard mode guns, assuming all the pellets hit, it does actually deal more DPS. However, with its pellet increase came an extremely aggressive damage nerf from 24 to 14, and its use time increased from 45 to 55. Ouch. I mean, the only good thing is, keeping in mind the potential for all 8 pellets to hit does make it technically a damage up, which then with the decreased fire rate, balances out to be about the same as before. So, despite its potentially amazing performance compared to even hard mode weapons like the regular shotgun, what is it like against the real thing? Well, to be honest, as you'd probably expect, the extreme bullet spread is no joke, making it against this line of slimes at least pretty much on par with the boomstick thanks to its accuracy, and slightly behind the Phoenix Blaster on time to kill. The thing is though, with it being obtained still so early in the game, the fact it's even comparable to weapons like the regular shotgun is impressive. And against large targets like King Slime, it absolutely destroys them, as the average number of pellets hit scales this thing into oblivion. I guess then, so far it's looking like the nerfs weren't too extreme against bosses, which is reinforced further against Deerclops, which is pretty much your next big fight after Skeletron. I had absolutely no trouble defeating this thing with a quad barrel, and there's probably more efficient ways you could have used it to hit more shots. So, at this point, we're probably wondering how it does against the fabled Wall of Flesh, which, to give it the benefit of the doubt, wasn't a boss this weapon was designed for. But you know what? With its 8 pellet spread, more often than not these will all hit due to the wall's height. And yeah, while that 14 damage is a little on the low end, it was still more than enough to get through the hungry. Nevertheless, from a pure DPS standpoint, the Phoenix Blaster did leave it for dead at this range. But you know what? I was still more than happy with its performance earlier on, letting me expose the wall nice and quickly. Also, I think it's worth shining a bit of light on this weapon's still incredibly good typical use, being an all-round great range weapon for dealing with rooms of enemies. Either way though, it's still sad to see a previously intensely sought after early game weapon kind of fall into some irrelevancy. So all in all, I'd say this part of the nerf hurt it more than the damage and fire rate down. Let me know your thoughts on the quad barrel shotgun down below, and if it's still a weapon you swear by. This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.